Today I brought you down to the fantastic Lindholme Lakes near Doncaster. We've extended our range of pellet method feeders. We've actually brought a mini method feeder that will be just perfect for winter type fishing. The mini pellet feeder comes in 15 gram and also 25 gram. Just the right weights for plopping in when conditions are difficult in winter. We've also brought out an extra large size. This is for the summer months when you're wanting to introduce more bait. When carp are really aggressive and feeding and taking lots of bait, these bigger feeders will be fantastic. And these come in 45 gram and also 55 gram. So perfect for fishing at distance. Today I'm focusing just on the mini pellet method feeder. And I've brought you to Lindholme because it's full of bigger size carp and F1s. And this is the perfect feeder when temperatures start to drop. Here you can catch a lot of fish in winter time, loose feeding either 6mm pellets or 4mm pellets. And of course, when the fish are taking small baits like this, just introducing a small method feeder with micro pellets on, maybe a wafter on the hook or even just a straightforward 6mm pellet, it's just perfect for catching these style of fish. A lot of our commercial lakes are quite shallow, and of course when it comes to winter time you're not wanting to create a lot of noise. So a 15 gram is perfect when you just want to plop in the shallowest of waters. And of course it's not causing any disturbance. When you've got wind on the lake and you're wanting to punch your feeder a little further, the 25 gram is perfect for this. All these method feeders are weighted with the bias of the weight forward, so they cast really well into the wind. What I would also not be frightened of is even using the mini in the height of summer. Because when you think about it, a lot of the time you're feeding 8, even 11mm pellets. And when fish get used to picking these type of baits up, just a small feeder plopped in the middle of them can sometimes be deadly. These feeders work well in shallow water, but they also work very well when it's deep. When you've got excessive depth, the teeth in the side of the feeder holds the bait in place, and I am so confident that when I cast into deep water my bait is staying with that feeder as I want it. Even with pellets, ground baiting pellets or just ground bait on its own, I know that that feeder will get to the bottom with the bait in place, and this is so important for setting a trap with the feeder. All sizes of these pellet method feeders are fantastic for evacuation of the bait. Because the feeder is open and flat at the front, the bait comes off the feeder really well. If you can imagine on the retrieve, if you hadn't got an open fronted feeder, the bait would be spreading over an area. So you're feeding all the time where your feeder's plopping in, keeping fish in the area. As we're just going into winter now, I really didn't want these feeders to be launched because I know that fishing with less bait on a smaller feeder will be deadly here at Lindholme Lakes. And it will be all across the country where you're fishing for carp and F1s through the winter. I found that sometimes with the bigger size feeder in the winter months, I was introducing a little bit too much bait. And this is why we brought the mini feeder. Because when it gets cold, too much bait can be really detrimental. Today I've kept things very simple. I've fished out to an island, maybe about 30 metres at most, just fishing with pellets on, and just a single hook bait wafter on a size 16, a carp circle hook, which I just think are brilliant for this type of fishing. I've also fed a line shorter with 6mm pellets, round about 18 metres, and I've been able to catch off both these lines, and it's not just been F1s, it's been a mixture of carp and F1s. I've had a great 3 hours fishing. Give these mini pellet method feeders a try. There's something I am certain you'll want in your armoury.